So this is one that came in from Big Back Cuisine. I'm gonna start an account that says 2 dimples in the elbow cooking, because those are just the signs you look for, right? You just know what it is. Big Back Cuisine asked, advice you would give someone new to barbecue business, not new to barbecue, but the business side of it. And I was like, okay, and that's a solid question. But my thing is, if you're new to the barbecue business, you're new to barbecue. And hear me out. Barbecue and the barbecue business, completely different. You may know how to cook, right?
Oh, yeah.
You may know how to compete, probably have a wall full of them. That doesn't translate to barbecue business. You have to reteach yourself a few things, and it's going to take a little bit of an opportunity. Like, you're going to have to step outside of yourself and put away the ego and the pride for a bit. You can't have that machismo, oh, I've been doing this for 20, 30 years, but hey, cool. It's great. How much money have you made?
Yeah. I mean,
How
yeah,
much
that's where it
profit
comes
have you
to, if you're new, you're new.
None? Okay, cool. Listen up. So to answer your question, like, that's the first step, is to not rely heavily on whatever you've done, because what you've done may not work in this world. And a perfect example of that is, if you are a heavy competition cooker, you cannot cook the way you do competitions.
No.
For barbecue business retail. Pops and I talk about that all the time. Competition cook and business retail cook for barbecue are nowhere near the same. The biggest thing is your waste, right? Your waste in your ingredients and just your COGS, your cost of goods, right? You can't trim a brisket in retail the way you trim it for competition.
Oh, gosh,
and
no.
if for some reason you find the weird wild hair up there to do it that way, you're going to have to find something to do with those scraps.
Yeah.
You're going to have to then invest in additional labor and additional equipment to turn that scrap into ground beef or into tallow or into something that gets cased into a sausage. Like, you're going to have to get creative that way. So advice 1, and I'll hit you with 3, and maybe we'll, make this a running series, because it could go on. I could write a book on this question alone.
I mean, like, just kind of in general, would you say it's the difference in, like, cooking efficiently and getting the most that you can of everything versus, like, the one perfect bite?
Oh, it is. It's 100%, not even just, it's definitely cooking efficiently, but cooking everything and thinking, cooking efficiently and creative, right? But also, because a lot of people do this, like, you'll see people on Shark Tank, they've sold their house, they've mortgaged everything for this business that's making money. Like, we're asking $500,000, and one of the sharks will be like, cool, I'll give you $10 million for the whole thing. Oh, I can't. That's my baby. Are you out of your mind? Yo, I'm signing the paperwork expeditiously. Like, I'm right there, because I've got more than one idea. I can get my life back, get a whole new life, and then start my next thing, and then come back and do it again. Hey, you guys like the first thing so well. Here's another thing, right? So don't get so caught up on, oh, I love cooking this dish because, it's one of my favorite. That's great, but will it make you profit? Is it a profitable dish? Is it worth getting a brisket if after everything's said and done you're making $10-20?
Yep.
Not so much. Not really worth it, right? So don't cook by just the emotions. Cook by the numbers. Let the numbers dictate to you what's working and what's not. And I can only advise that because you remember when I started, I was selling everything but the kitchen sink. I had turkey legs, turkey breasts, chicken wings, mac and cheese, quesadillas, tacos, brisket burgers, ribs, quarter chicken, legs. Like, I had everything going.
Yep.
Everyone was loving it. I was making money. Wasn't making any profit.
Yep.
Wasn't making any profit. And it did not take long before I started carrying the 1 and that 0 was apparent. I was like,
oh, crap.
Okay, let's figure this out. Turkey legs, gone. This is too much, gone. Am I having leftover here? Like, let's just start scraping things away.
Yeah.
And yes, were some people like, no, we missed that. Yeah, but your 1 order of turkey legs doesn't justify me buying that much of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and then what would you say over the years has been your, like, on average, like, highest yield for profit as far as like a protein goes?
I got really good at like one of the most profitable protein for me was always pork shoulder, bone in, because I would smoke it whole. When I got to a certain part of the cook, I would trim off the fat cap, chop up the fat cap, and render it down and make it into sofrito as the base for my sofrito for my pit beans. Because I already had all that smoky flavor.
Yeah.
Get my beans going in there, and that worked out. And then I'd collect
Free flavor.
Yeah, why not? And then I would shred,
Yeah.
of course, all my pork, and I would save my bones
With your claws, right?
Oh, if you need to use claws, if you need to use power tools, you're doing it wrong. Like take the bone out and go cha 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 cha. You're done. Please, please, please leave the bone in until you're ready to serve. Just don't pull out beforehand. And I'd save the bones and I'd render those down into a stock that I would then use as a base for other dishes.
Yep.
So I would make sure I would get everything out of it. And pork prices were always fluctuating, and I'd always get it wholesale. But there were some times, and I miss these days, when like Kroger would do one of those double customer appreciation days. So they would do like where they would count your meat towards your point percentages for gas points.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, on top of doing like 88 cents a pound. When I tell you, and this
Kroger's
is a true
about
story.
to pay for my gas for a month.
Yeah, this is a true story because I called Keebler, I called Richard, and I called Brian. This was years ago. I was in the store. I literally picked up. I was like, yo, Rich, go to Kroger. It's 88 cents right now. He's like, what? The butts are 88 cents right now. 88 cents a pound. He's like, you're lying. It's like, bro, I don't know if it's all Kroger's or not. I took photos. I cleaned out my Kroger because it didn't have that, limit sign.
Yeah.
I was like, how much do you have? They're like, we just got a couple more and a few boxes. Like, I'll take the boxes and everything that's in here.
Yeah.
Did I have the room? No. Brought it back, iced down the coolers, immediately went to Home Depot, bought a deep freeze there, and just stored it and just sat on it. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
that was great because it was still cheaper at the end of the line to do that. But I'm going to wrap it back up, I promise. Advice for starting: don't rely on your previous knowledge and experience to translate easily into the business aspect of barbecue because it's very different.
Yeah.
Secondly, get very creative and resourceful with your proteins to make sure you are minimizing your waste as much as humanly possible, while still providing a good product.
Sure.
Not telling you to take shortcuts. I'm telling you to be resourceful.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. And as far as the business goes, go reach out and lean on someone. Go ask some questions. Go chat with them like, hey, who are you using as a meat provider and who are you happy? And if you want better questions to ask, if you've switched meat providers, why did you switch? What weren't you happy with? What occurred that made you say, hey, this isn't working for me? Because sometimes it's not always profit change that's going to keep you. It can be the service as well.
Oh, gosh.
I'll pay a little bit more to my meat guys for better, reliable service because it doesn't matter if the guy's cheap. If he's cheap and he's not reliable, I can't. Then it's messing up your profit. And last but not least, remember, making money is not the same as making profit. Never the two shall meet.
Yeah, I feel like that one just needs to be just like
that's one of the
hammered in.
It's one that I try to get people to understand, and they're like, no, well, I made this. Like, but what did it cost you?
Yeah.
What did it cost you?
To me, one of the biggest ones, even outside of barbecue, just like any business, especially when you're passionate about it, did you factor in your time?
Yes.
Because it is so easy to lose your time when you're passionate about what you're doing, or you're having fun, or it's new and you're learning, or maybe not even new and learning. You're just passionate about it. You're in it. You lose track of time. It is just so easy to be like, oh, well, that doesn't count. I'm still making a profit. It's like, no.
The business is, but you aren't.
Yeah, you got to make some money too. Like,
you're
don't forget about what the literal hours that you put in to make it happen.
Yeah, because then what you're doing when you don't factor in your time, you are literally robbing the business because you're seeing an inflated number. Because the moment you start paying yourself, that number goes.
Oh, wait.
Like, hold a minute. And I think this is going to be like a book reference pod too. So I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and create like an Amazon thing where it just has all these books. But 2 books that I would absolutely recommend for this particular question are going to be Profit First. Absolutely amazing book. It actually details and explains to you. And this is one of those books that you want to get the hard copy, not the hard copy or paper copy, just tangible, because it doesn't work well in digital form. It outlines how to set up your bank accounts to pay yourself first, literally pay yourself first, then handle the business things. And the second is going to be E-Myth, another great book that's going to help you tremendously during this. Do I know these authors? No. Do I get a kickback from it? No. But you've seen my office, you've seen the house. There's just tons of books. I like reading, and this is how I learn these things. I read, implement, tweak, read some more.
Yep.